Well, hello everyone. Today is the 27th of September, Monday. This is our second of our bi-weekly Ask the Doctor or Talk to the Doctor. We are Tustin Longevity Center. I am Dr. Ella Thorpe. We are an integrative functional medicine facility where we have 5 healthcare providers, nurses, lab, IV staff, and such that are standard trained allopathically, but we are also very well experienced over many decades amongst all of us between Dr. Merrick, myself, Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Kaur, and P.A. Patel. I would say we have anywhere in the near range of about 75 years of experience in integrative complementary medicine. And so we open this up to our patients and their friends and family to ask a question about anything that you might be interested in regarding some health concerns, longevity concerns, anti-aging, preventative care, and how we would begin this. Of course, we try to do everything as natural as possible, primarily with lifestyle to help improve your immune and health parameters. We use consultations with specialists if they're needed and imaging studies and so forth. So we're a standard care with the long history of integrative functional medicine care. The other thing also that we do is we do research, and we are published. If you go on tlcdoctors.com, tlcdoctorsplural.com, you'll see our website, and there if you go into research, you can see some of the things that we've been researching. We're looking at starting up another research project here in 2022. January, February is the estimated start date. We're going to have a big meeting in a day or two to discuss the parameters of this. It'll be internal board reviewed, so we'll have physicians and scientists evaluating our studies and making sure that it's ethical and well planned and so forth. So that's who we are, and hopefully I can answer questions. I had some, Talon gave me some of the questions that came in through office@tlcdoctors.com, office@tlcdoctors.com, so that if you don't get onto the YouTube where you can type in your questions, or you don't have that skill set to or be logged into log into YouTube, you can email us at office@tlcdoctors, and you can use snail mail and just mail us here at Tustin Longevity Center, 13422 Newport Avenue, Suite L as in Linda, Tustin, California 92780. So let's go over some of these questions and get started. Debbie says, she says, hello. How do people on a carnivore diet get vitamins that are normally provided in vegetables? And does a carnivore diet make you acid rather than alkaline? Thanks. Well, actually, the carnivore diet is the most nutritionally dense diet there is. And even vitamin C and vitamin B12 and things like this are in it. Often those two vitamins come up to me. Let's see. I went out for dinner with the scientists that we're doing the study on, and my nurse heard that I was invited. And then the next morning she said, how was dinner last night? And I said, it was great. And she said, what did you eat? And I ordered liver and onions. and so liver is the most nutrient dense and does have vitamin C in it. So it's quite exciting to understand how grass-fed, free-range beef, fish, chicken, poultry, pork is when it's free-range and wild caught. So now, is it acidic? Well, if you eat this and don't drink enough water, it could become acidic. But again, we're always teaching a balanced approach. We're teaching you to drink half your weight in water as ounces every day and to exercise and get good night's sleep. So given all that, now I do believe that no matter who you are, you should be on living in America or in the world in general. The system has been quite corrupted, so that systemic enzymes as you age diminish in anybody, and vegetarians as well. And so taking systemic enzymes are important to add to that water you're drinking and your motion and exercise. Also, taking digestive enzymes to help you digest your food as you age. All right, hopefully that answers that question for you, Debbie. It's really something that they like to throw darts at, but in fact, this is a very nutrient-dense lifestyle. Okay, Lynn. Lynn says, hi, Dr. E. Please discuss eye floaters. Eye floaters and any integrative treatments. Planning on seeing an ophthalmologist, but I am curious if there's an integrative approach to managing floaters. Thank you so much. Floaters, as you age, your level of oxidative stress. Remember this little picture I have here all the time? Here's the damaged one right here, okay, where the damage comes in. And over here is the healthy cell membrane. So damaged, healthy, and there's the hole in it. And that can come from any source of sunlight, radiation, lack of water, inactivity, not exercising, too little sleep, too much sleep, lack of drinking water, eating a high carb diet, eating food allergies, viruses, bacteria, pollutants, heavy metal toxins, volatile organic acids. So we are always cooking. I describe ourselves sometimes as, if you're 120 pounds, you're a 120-pound roast, slowly cooking at 98.6 degrees. If you're a 200-pound man, you're a 200-pound roast cooking at 98.6 degrees. So I say these things to help you get a grip on the fact that we are cooking, oxidizing, burning up. In your eye, as well as any other part of your body, that's why this picture applies to everyone. In your eye is the vitreous fluid, which is inside the ball of your eye. And there is protein in there. It isn't just pure distilled water in there. And those proteins can become oxidized. And so as we age, we start to get floaters. These floaters are a problem. They're a nuisance. I occasionally get them now. But I find if I fast, like when I did that 5-day fast, Labor Day of September, Monday all the way to Saturday, those 5 days I ate nothing. And I just drank water, and I took my vitamins and my systemic enzymes and did an IV chelation to improve my microcirculation, my systemic enzymes. And the one large particular floater that I had, 99% cleared up, 98% cleared up. So yes, you can, through fasting, I don't know that you need to go 5 days, but if you're very low carb and you fast for a couple of days, take extra systemic enzymes like Vitalzyme. I take 5 twice a day. And then I drink a lot of water. I did EDTA chelation to improve the rinsing and breathing of my whole body system. My enzymes cleared up the floater in my eye. So yes, so those things will help you. And that's what we would tell you to do. Now, the ophthalmologist doesn't know anything about that, but fasting, and they're never going to do a study on this because nobody's going to make money on EDTA chelation IVs or Vitalzyme or fasting, drinking lots of water. So that's something you just have to understand clinically. This is my experience with myself and my patients. Next question is, Susie, will someone who had COVID-19 a year ago still have antibodies? Interestingly enough, I suppose I had COVID myself because after I did my 5-day fast, I did lab. And I added on the antibodies for SARS-CoV-2, and I was robust, full of antibodies. I don't recall an illness, but at least a year ago, I think right after my first grandson that Christina had, that was in May. Yeah. I think I was down for 2 days. I just stayed away. and rested. I felt a little under the weather, took a vitamin C drip, took extra vitamin D, and my quercetin. And then maybe that was COVID, because I am full of antibodies, and that's well over a year ago. So what I would say to you is it is quite established, and there's literature to boot about, the Israeli study that was done about a month ago, came out showing the durability of the immune system from your natural immunities. So yes, I think it's robust. Do you know that we actually have people who had SARS in the original in 2003, and those people had antibodies still to SARS, and those are the ones that we felt were either asymptomatic, maybe like myself, or they had no symptoms, but they had antibodies still. And that's 17 years ago. So any of this foolish talk that your immune system needs help and it won't make good antibodies is foolishness. And they're not looking at independent research without financial ties to their pockets. So we know that SARS, the original people 17 years ago, have antibodies still to the coronavirus and are very well positioned. And they need to study this more. And I know that I have done well, and I have not taken anything preventatively other than low carb, plenty of water, good sleep, vitamin D, systemic enzymes, and I take my quercetin every day, and I take the multivitamin, and I take my vitamin D, and I have done well, and I was not on Ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine. Okay, let's see. Sean says, hi, Dr. E. Can you explain the difference between fish oils, EPA and DHA versus linoleic and alpha-linoleic acid? Linoleic and alpha-linoleic acid, omega-3 and omega-6. Thank you for all you and your staff do. The colder the environment the fish has to live in, the colder the water is, that fish has to have more double bonds. Let me draw a picture of this so maybe you can see this. That won't work. Maybe this will work. That won't work. Nothing's working for me right now. God, I need your help. Okay. So a double bond. And all right, so can you see this here? So up here, here's a carbon, double bond, carbon, single bond, double bond. So this is these are two double bonds right here. This one has carbon, double bond, carbon, single bond, carbon, double bond, carbon, single bond, carbon, single bond, carbon, double. So there's 1, 2, 3 here. So the number of, and then of course, a saturated fat would have no double bonds. Here's 2 double bonds. Here's 3 double bonds right here. And so the colder the water that you have to live in as a fish, the more double bonds you will have in your makeup, in your cell membranes. Remember that remember how I have this up in my office here? So here is a fatty acid, and here's a fatty acid. These are, when you see the double line there, can you see the double line there, and the double line there, double line there, double, double. These are in human membranes. And these are called linoleic and alpha-linoleic acid. Linoleic and alpha-linoleic acid. And they have 2 and 3 double bonds respectively. These are essential to human life. But EPA and DHA have somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 to 6 double bonds, and there's even higher numbers. So the more double bonds there are, the harder it is to freeze the tissue. So fish can swim in 28-degree water. If they're moving, the water's moving and doesn't congeal. So the more double bonds, the more the fish can continue moving and not freeze. We only have 2 or 3. Now, we live at 98.6 degrees. The warmer you are as a living being, the easier it is for you to burn up and bust those bonds, so to say, oxidize them. And the fish that lives in the Mediterranean or in the Gulf, where the water is much warmer, let's say the water is 75, 80 degrees all the time, their fatty acids are much lower. So they'll have 3 and 4 double chains. So even fish, as they get in warmer and warmer water and not worry about freezing, they will have less double bonds. So then you have to ask the question, why does the doctor, why does the advertisement always talk about EPA and DHA? These are derivatives of linoleic and alpha-linoleic acid, the 2 essential that a human being has to have. And we can modify with our delta desaturase enzymes, and we can make a little DHA if we need it in our body. There's some that's needed in the brain and part of the eye. So these double bonds are added in through desaturase enzymes. And if we need a little bit, we make it. So what should we be more concerned about? Trying to take high doses of EPA and DHA, which we only need a little bit of, or that we should be concerned about eating healthy foods that are rich in what we're made of and we need tons of, which is linoleic, omega-6, and alpha-linoleic, the omega-3. So this is in egg yolks, this is in our meats, this is in our chicken, the chicken skin, along with a choline, and we can get all this for repair of our bodies. So the emphasis on DHA and EPA is more for marketing. I'm telling you, those fish caught out at sea, they chop off their tails and their heads and they're crushed and they get the oil out of them. And some of those things sit in bins 6 months before they make it into a capsule to get to you. And a lot of it has combined with oxygen and is rancid. It's a money-making scheme, folks. We have no essential need. There's no essential need for EPA or DHA. That's why we use parent essential oils. Instead of saying essential fatty acid, these corrupt marketers have ruined the term by saying essential fatty acids, and then later in the same paragraph talking about EPA and DHA, giving you the mental jump to think that those are essential, and they're not. EPA and DHA are not essential. EPA and DHA are not essential. We can make it. You get essential amino acids, essential vitamins, essential fats, because you can't make it. We can't make alpha-linoleic and linoleic acid. So we have to eat it. So we have to eat the egg yolks, and we have to eat the animals and the skin and so forth. Now you can get some of this from seeds and nuts as well. And we do recommend eating some of that. We prefer it to be raw, not roasted nuts or seeds. Hopefully that helps you understand it, Sean. Okay. Linda, I don't see or hear you. Okay, you're on. All right, so there you are. Okay, Linda, good. Maxine, picture and sound are good. Okay. Let's see, where are we at? Dolphin. My husband got the jab. What happens when he starts getting neurological symptoms and disease? Anything I can do? Well, we need the problem is that everything is being rushed. Many rules are being broken. Much advice is being ignored, and marketing is running medicine right now, and financial interest, it appears, in my humble opinion. So how much damage is potentially done if one takes it or not cannot be answered at this point in time, Dolphin. It cannot be answered. Therefore, what we want to do is ask, do we really need this? Is our risk so high that we are at a true risk of mortality, severe disease? And since I've had no one die in our patients, none of us 5 clinicians, I haven't heard of one hospitalization or death. So I have to say, out of the thousands we see here, the 5 of us over the past 2 years, including myself, and I apparently have antibodies, and I'm in the age group that you would consider at higher risk, being above 65. And my husband's 73. So we've just lived our normal lives, but we eat low carb, we drink our water, get a good night's sleep, exercise, take the vitamin D, don't eat late at night. We take systemic enzymes. We're on quercetin, and then I made the Immune Protect, and I put everything in the Immune Protect. I put in the C, the zinc, the selenium, the mushrooms, the aloe vera, the N-acetylcysteine, the quercetin, so that if you took that and 1 vitamin D, you would only have to use 2 items. But I still would take systemic enzymes. So there isn't enough studying going on. There isn't enough research going to natural things, because we have obviously naturally avoided this. There you have it. So I would give my husband vitamin D. I would give him something that boosts his immune system, like Immune Protect. And I would absolutely ask him to take systemic enzymes. Systemic enzymes will reduce inflammation. Also, taking a enhanced chelation. Enhanced chelation is vitamin C with the EDTA chelation to help microcirculation, so there aren't any microclots and stuff. And that's another thing we do, is vitamin C and the chelation. So maybe that helped me. And I have no tiny microclots or big clots. So love always, and always help. You know, I was reading in the Bible again that we are to love our enemies and do good unto them that despitefully use us. So there is no basis for us to be harsh or judgmental. We're to, because I have an eternal perspective. If I'm almost 70, I have maybe 10, 15 years left, 20 years left on the planet, I can handle it. I can make it to my eternal end with my my motive of saying, look I love everyone. I don't endorse evil, but if you are my friend, my spouse, my children, my relatives, or a patient, I will do good to you no matter what your status is. Anyway, so love, always love, and use those things. Hopefully, Dolphin, that'll help you. Pamela says, I'm going to have a stool test, okay, a complete digestive stool test. Should I continue or stop taking vitamin mineral supplements before the test? Pamela, I tell all my patients not to stop anything, to live the way your nutrients are advised, your diet is advised, your water intake, activity, so we can get a picture of what is, okay? So please just go ahead and do the stool test and don't do anything special. Now, I know the insert in the package for that stool test says don't be on probiotics or certain little admonishments like that. I tell my patients to ignore it, because I know my patients and I know what they're taking. And when I'm reading the results and I'm talking to them about it, I ask them if they were on it or not. So I wouldn't worry about it. Hopefully that helps. The same goes for the 24-hour urine iodine test. I don't tell my patients to stop eating fish or seaweed or anything. If that's your normal lifestyle, I want my patients to be eating the way they normally do, so I can get a true picture of their deficiency or sufficiency of where they're at. Let's see. Dolphin says, our dog has symptoms. He is 60 years old. You have a dog that is 60? I would never get the jab. Okay. There are systemic enzymes for dogs, and there are EDTA suppositories that you can put in the back end of the dog. And you can fast your dog one day at a time or two with electrolyte water, and talk with a functional veterinarian, and that would be a help, because I honestly think all my patients have done well. I mean, nothing has happened in the past 2 years regarding the pandemic, nothing. And all I can say is the colds and flu seasons that come and go, decade in, decade out, decade in, decade out. People get a fever, cold, they feel achy all over, they're down for a week in bed, sore, but they had experienced that in the past with the flu, I have never seen anything change. So I think that what we're doing with functional preventive lifestyle is quite adequate, and that we should not have overt concern, but our due diligence and preventive healthcare will take us a long way. Let's see. Ali, does size matter? I'm not quite sure I know what you mean by that statement. Does size matter? For instance, if you're overweight, obese, or morbidly obese, your vitamin D needs are going to be much higher. That's for sure one thing. And then, of course, metabolic syndrome and having inflammation in your body and clotting is one of two of the comorbidities. Remember, the second in the study, it was obesity. The second was anxiety. Anxiety is an immune destructive emotion. And so that's why I enjoy reading my Bible, to give me confidence every day that no matter what, whether I live or die, Job says, yea though he kill me, or yet will I serve him. Something like that. So God made me, he owns my body, and my body is his, and I'm going to serve him to the end. So that solves all the nerves, marital problems, financial worries. If you are just focused on saying, I'm here to be of service, if I live, great. If I die, that's even better, because I get a vacation then. So it's wonderful to just have that kind of a focus. I hope that's what you meant, Ali, because I don't think I understood what you said beyond that. Let's see, what's the next one? The next one is Joe. Okay. Hi, are you a real doctor? Yes, Joe. I'm a Chicago Medical School, Army military emergency room flight surgeon. Yeah, I'm a real doctor. Okay. The message is held for review. Okay. Joe is a first-time caller, long-time listener. My girlfriend says, oh, all right, so that's a nasty thing. Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to get a monitor here. Sean, what is the name of the test you recommend getting to test if you have COVID antibodies? Well, I order from our outside lab SARS-CoV-2 semi-quantitative antibodies, IgG and IgM. Okay, so I do both of those. And that's what I did on myself. Linda, Joe M says, yes, she is. Okay. Jennifer, hi, Dr. Rita. Is it possible to have too much B12? Well, B12 is water soluble, and I've never seen an excess of it, so I would say no on that. Or DHEA, I've never seen a problem with too much DHEA either. In a girl, it helps support your testosterone, and so with your testosterone, you could possibly, have some maybe acne from too much testosterone as a woman, but it is a tremendous immune enhancer, your adrenal gland support. It is a support for the woman's testosterone level and men to some degree for our muscle tone and our strength. So unless you have any side effects of too much testosterone, I don't think there's a problem with excessive DHEA or B12. I think the highest my DHEA was 1,000. So, there you have it. So how do you know when to cut back on the supplements? Thank you. Well, that's why we do labs. If we are working with acute problems, we typically will ask to do labs within about 3 months, and I usually check them if I have them on. So I'd say within every 3 months, we can look and see and adjust them, and then I can ask if you're having any acne or anything like that, and we'll go over that. Sarah says, good evening. What is your opinion about xylitol, erythritol, stevia, non-GMO? They are alcohol sugars, and as such, they are often associated with GI reactions like diarrhea and bloating and gas. There are even some that say that they are potentially harmful to good bacteria, the healthy bacteria. So I don't use them in my house at all. I don't have them. I don't make cookies, low carb cookies with them. There's all this keto cookies, cakes and stuff. I just don't make the treat. So I'm not a fan of alcohol sugars. I have seen some research on them that puts in question their gut impact on healthy bacteria. So I'm going to say I would try to avoid them as much as possible. Dolphin, my husband doesn't believe in natural health. I'm trying to get him to take vitamin D, C, quercetin, and zinc. Any other ideas? Yes, well, Dolphin, I had mentioned before, systemic enzymes, okay, like Vitalzyme, Vascuzyme, Proteozyme, on an empty stomach to disinflame and prevent blood clotting. Linda Martinez, okay, what great information. I'm telling everyone I know about this incredible Live with Dr. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And please like and subscribe. Maybe there's going to be some potential for us to help others, and maybe we can get some monetization in the future. We do this all for free. We don't make any money on it right now. So praise God. Thank you, Linda, for saying that. SR, I lost over 50% of my hair in less than a month after stresses couple months prior. So you had a lot of stress, and was diagnosed with diffuse alopecia. Was prescribed Viviscal and shots in the scalp. Is there a better treatment? Viviscal. I'm not familiar with Viviscal in particular. I could look it up. See, this is how you people help me to be the best well-rounded doctor as a generalist, family doctor. Viviscal. This is for alopecia. Okay, and I will look that up. Now, listen, stress, when the body is stressed, depending on your age and your other health issues, your body is going to work on preserving your white blood cells made out of protein, your gut lining, which is only 1 cell thick, your brain, your heart, your lungs, all these more important areas. And your nails and your hair, even the skin, oftentimes is allowed to thin and wrinkle and shrivel up to preserve your life. So we talk about gut health. In order to grow hair out, you have to eat plenty of protein. And as we age, we're losing muscle mass about 1% every year. So getting that protein in your diet, and with age, we digest less well. So taking a digestive enzyme to help digest it, to help with our immune, our hair, our nails, all these things is very important. Natural hormones also are a help. And I think part of the reason that at my age, my hair is so healthy and robust. So natural hormones, systemic enzymes, chelation will improve the microcirculation to your scalp. And with the stress, you might also have food allergies, leaky gut with aging. And those food allergies create another biochemical stress on top of lifestyle stresses. So, find what comforts you. For me, it's my Bible and my private time, my prayer time. For me, I fast intermittently so that I never eat until about noon. I stop eating by 6 o'clock. So my stomach has about 18 hours every day to work on healing so that it can do its job to absorb the nutrients, to grow my nails, grow my hair, and all these, issues should be handled that way. So hopefully that's an encouragement to you. There are things like minoxidil. There is PRP injections. Those are platelet reactive proteins. So if they take your blood and spin it down so that the serum's on the top and the red blood cells are packed in the bottom, at the very top layer are your platelets and growth factors, and they take that thin little layer off, and they can actually inject it with those growth repair hormones, because you have growth repair messengers all throughout your body, and PRP injections in the scalp is important. But very important for you is finding peace of mind. And I encourage you to find what comforts you. As I said, for me, it's my daily Bible reading. Let's see, what else do we have here? Sky Rad 55. Okay, if someone is taking ivermectin prophylactically, what would the dosage be? It's weight dependent, Sky Rad 55. In general, if you go on to the website and you look up the FLCC Alliance, flcc.net or .com, that's the Frontline COVID-19 Critical Care Alliance. They have a protocol for prevention. And on it, there is a weight scale on page 2. And on this weight scale, whatever your weight is, you can see how many 3 milligram tablets that you would need. So let's say you're an average man and you weigh between 170 and 190 pounds. You would need about 5 tablets twice a week. If you're a 200-pound man, you would need 6 tablets twice a week. If you're a 220-pound man, you need 7 tablets twice a week. It seems like an extra tablet for about every 20 extra pounds. So that's a good guidance for you. Look up FLCCC, and you can see their ivermectin protocols. Hopefully that's a help to you. Dolphin. Okay, sorry, not our dog. My husband is 60 years old. I thought that was funny. Thank you, Dolphin. It's always good to laugh. Norman Cousins wrote a book. I think he had cancer. And this was in the 1970s. And treatment for cancer was pretty horrific back then. And he wanted to boost his immune system. And if you look up Norman Cousins, cancer, and laughter, he shut himself up for maybe 3 months and just had all kinds of comedies and laughter movies and, the Three Stooges and all these silly, funny things that he laughed. And guess what? He got better. So how funny is that? So sorry, our dog. is not 60. I hope to help him before the jab kicks in. Well, I would have faith, hope, and love, Dolphin. You know, those of us who have a strong belief in the Bible and in the American predominant Christian heritage, Jesus said that we should, you know, have faith, hope, and love, and our behaviors to someone who doesn't believe or is scoffing or doubting, our continued enduring love, our continued enduring faith, hope, and love should be what carries us through. So I hope you to have a positive attitude that nothing will happen to your husband, that you would pray, no matter whether you're having arguments with him or not, that he lives a long and healthy life. And those are the right and healthy thoughts we should have. So I want to just lift you up, Dolphin, and lift up your thoughts for thinking healthy thoughts for him and for your dog, So anyway, let's see. Spy Sky Red 55. You are a loving person, Rita. Okay, thank you for all you do for those of us with cancer. Glory to God. Praise the Lord. Amen. Yes, yea, and it is through much tribulation we enter the kingdom of heaven. And so I get encouragement every time I read, especially the epistles, about what they endured and I look, like I went to the grocery store yesterday. Where did I go? I went to Steeder Brothers. And I was just overwhelmed with the abundance. Every time I grocery shop maybe twice a month. And I'm telling you, twice a month I go in with astonishment at the great abundance that we have. But then I'm horrified at the amount of junk food and non-food and weird colored foods that we give ourselves and our children to eat. So my, we have to just continue to share. I must have, the lady who was helping me, I buy so much at one time, she helped me out with my stuff. And, I just, talk to her, and she usually doesn't see little old ladies walking around in dresses, and she was maybe 20 years old. And I said, now you just remember, that you need to marry someone who loves God more than you and himself, because that's the only way you're going to have a happy marriage in the future. And I think she was so taken with that, myself just saying that to her about how important life is. We're all going to be a family someday. So why don't we love each other now and just hope the best for each other now. And that is medicine. I'm telling you, medicine is important in your attitude. And remember, COVID-19 comorbidities, the second comorbidity was anxiety. So I share with my patients that I'm a Christian, but I'm sure I have Buddhists, and I'm sure I have Jewish, and I'm sure I have some atheist patients and Hindu patients. But at least they understand I'm passionate about my conviction of what I believe and how important these convictions are to our value, to what we do and others around us. And so that is the connectiveness I have with my patients. And I think they really understand I care, that hopefully they know TLC really cares. Our motto is medical care as it should be, because life matters. Where care happens, health happens. And that's why, Dolphin, for instance, if you care about your husband like you are, giving him the things you are to help him, he knows this. He gets it. And do you know, just you're doing that is a gift to him. It is a medicine to him. There you go. All right. Let's see. Sarah, how much protein do you recommend to a middle-aged man on a good exercise routine? 70 grams is about the average that is recommended for a male. 35 is about what a woman would take. Hopefully that helps you. Jennifer, Dr. Rita, what conditions can be helped with a Beamer mat? Oh, the Beamer mat is something you lay on your bed or your couch or your recliner chair. And in it are these conductive metals. I think they're copper, little copper fine things through it, connected to a machine that creates electromagnetic waves. And we're all electromagnetic beings. You bring your hands close to your face and you can feel your heat. So we are emitting energy all the time. The capillaries in the human body, in any animal, all creatures, the capillaries are what we call a bed. So you get your little arteriole and then it breaks into smaller and smaller. And then the gap between the artery to the vein, artery to the vein, artery pump to the vein, there's kind of like a no man's zone. And we have discovered this no man's zone really doesn't have a blood pressure, really. And what is at the tiny, teeny, tiny red blood cell molecular level is energy. And we actually have measured that energy. And that energy now has been recorded. And if you come to my IV suite and do EDTA chelation there or any of the IVs there while you're on the mat, along with the microcirculation help of EDTA chelation, the Beamer mat will enhance the microcirculation to increase that flow from the artery to the beds to the vein for detoxing. So what part of your body wouldn't be helped with microcirculation from the Beamer? Because we now know that the sheer force of that little tumbling red blood cell as it comes right through and touches that endothelium, that energy, that touch is itself power to conduct through the little capillary bed the stuff that you have. And that's why your water is so important. Your water is so important. That's why doing some regular exercise every day is important. That's why a good night's sleep is important. That's why not eating after 6 o'clock is important. Everything matters. Everything matters. All right, let's see. Hopefully that helps you, Jennifer. Everything is blessed with it. And I think better circulation, better thinking, better circulation, better vision, better circulation, long-lasting heartbeats, better circulation, mobility, and you can do stuff and repair, better circulation, better immune system, better circulation, everything's better. Karen, our home has a reverse osmosis water filter. I have been told that it is a dead water. Do you have any recommendations? Are further minerals needed? I have reverse osmosis in my house for my dishwashing and everything because we have hard water. But I filter my water. I do have the Kangen, Kangan unit. I have the Berkey water filter here in my office and at home. So I believe in that. And then there's vortex water. There is also the good argument that the movement of water, just the energy, is energizing. So again, where's the money for all this natural health benefits? So don't worry about having reverse osmosis. Worry about getting your actual drinking water filtered and for cooking. So when I cook, I use my Berkey filters, Kangen water, and all my drinking water is that way. And I take a multi-mineral because I'm older. And my cell membranes, one of the things I show my patients, see this ball has lots of holes in it. And that reminds me of that picture there where you have a hole in the cell membrane there. See that right there, the hole in the cell membrane? And I want it to get like this right here. So if that's the cell membrane right there, and let's see, do I have a small? No, I don't. Anyway, let's dump it over and see if I have one. Here we do. Okay, so here's, let's say this is a mineral that makes water more alive, the healthy minerals in it. And let's say you have cells like this, and you're spending money on the best vitamins, the best minerals, the best water system, and you take this mineral and we're going to put it in your cell, but then, whoops, see, it drops right out. So you take the mineral or the vitamin and you put it in, and then it drops right out, okay? It comes right out. So just as important as is your water that you're drinking is your cell membrane and having the fat on it so that when you take the cell and you give it a vitamin or a mineral and you put it in, it'll stay in there, okay? And not fall out. And that's the purpose. That's the purpose of teaching so much about the bilipid fat phospholipids in the cell membrane to slow your physical aging, your brain aging, every part of your aging. And that's why I made these doctor's nutrition bars that are full of this NT factor. I always eat one of these a day, so I'm getting enough healthy fats, which come from eating, you know, animals and the skin of the chicken and so forth. And we have NT powder. What a mess I've made here on my desk with all my paper clips. So you got to think about everything. We're made of fat. This is fat and protein. There's no fruits and vegetables in here. Otherwise, it would be like hard candy. So get a Berkey filter, get a multivitamin mineral. And I'm looking into vortex water. So life is interesting. We're always learning. Karen, I have been told that it is a dead water. Okay, yeah, we talked about that. Jennifer, a merry heart doth good like a medicine. Proverbs 17:22. Jennifer, bless your heart. Thank you so much. Laughter is such good therapy and a de-stressor. We so enjoy this time with you. And I guess we're getting near to our hour's end. Do you recommend alkaline water? I do. I do recommend alkaline water. Do I recommend it all the way up at a 9 pH? Not necessarily. And again, you see, Zoe, I need science, and I don't have all the money in the world to do it. So I did a study on our Kangen here, maybe 14 years ago, 15 years ago. So I'm trying to do research, and I think we had maybe 100 patients. And we found that it seemed to have better moisturizing penetrability into the joints, and that joint pain was improved on it compared to the other water, just regular water that you're drinking. It seemed to be associated with increased energy. Now, that's a small thing I did here with my patients with Kangen water. So what can I say? I believe it's valuable. More study is needed. Karen D, thank you. I love the doctor's bar. Okay, well, good. That's a blessing. Now, I don't know if any of you had called before. John Dean sent this on the email. Hi, doctor. My primary care has ordered a CT of the abdomen pelvis with oral IV contrast for pain and diarrhea. This frightens me. What are other options that TLC offers? Would chelation help if I go ahead? If so, what kind? Thanks for all you do. Well, John, this was sent September 21. I didn't evaluate you, so I would follow what your doctor says. And we can give you EDTA chelation to pull out the gadolinium stain, the heavy metal dye. And I would schedule a chelation the later that day or the next day or two. And so we can certainly help you. There's all kinds of things we can do to try and help the gut. We have gut probiotics. We have gut prebiotics. We have digestive enzymes. We have the low-carb diet. We have fasting. We have high-dose vitamin C. So there's many things, John. So I believe you are a patient. So I would have you make an appointment. I would have you follow up with your primary care doctor, follow what he's saying. And yes, we can help you pull out that dye. Don't let it frighten you. We can help you with that. Patricia says from her September 21 email, she's on day 7 of a COVID diagnosis. She lives alone, doing pretty well, but she's stressed emotionally. And that worry seems to be aggravating. And she's telling me, thank you for my care. Okay, praise God. And she seems to be improving. All right, well, thank you, Patricia, for telling me that. Lisa said, I think we covered this one. Yeah, we covered the one about air filters last Wednesday, Lisa. Duncan, Argentine 23, safe for newborns and infants? The answer is yes. In fact, some of the things that they do to all newborns is put silver in their eyes because of the, in the old days, especially syphilis was a concern, and it was a benefit back then. Argentine 23 silver is a nanoparticulate that is very safe. Margot, does TLC offer monoclonal antibody treatments as walk-ins? We're working on this, Margot. We're looking at it at this time, and so I'm in meetings on this right now to see if we can get that done. So that covers those questions. I wonder if there's any more here. All right, so I guess this was Jana. This is a letter. I'm going to have to read it. I didn't read it, but I'll do that on Wednesday. So let's see. I guess we're at an hour, and we'll say thank you. We'd encourage you to share, like, and subscribe if you could, and hopefully we can get you on your way with some of the answers to your questions, asking about various things that we can do to help restore our health, prevent disease from happening, and to have a happy heart. Like Jennifer said, a merry heart doth good like a medicine. All right, so with that, I'll say good night to you all, and God bless.